All right, Shalom, Shalom. This is Brother Mawad coming to you again, bringing out this gospel of truth to edify the hopefully lack of Yahshua Israel, so-called blacks, Native Americans, Latinos, and Hispanic, to warn the two-thirds of our people of the impending judgment, the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, who the word ignorantly called God and Jesus, is going to bring upon this wicked, sinful kingdom known as America, but spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. And it's always a pleasure to let Esau the Edomite, the so-called white man, the Caucasian, the devil that the Bible speaks of, know that your end is near, very near. But before we get started, I'd like to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakdash. Double honors and teachers, our listening apostles of great millstone, likewise, brothers, spin of the truth. Faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep and you brothers and sisters that are tuning in, Shalom. Obviously, this is an indoor camp. The wind howled and blew, and I was hoping it would calm down. It didn't calm down. Things were flying all over the place. So, edification still has to go on, and we just we move on, okay? But today is Mother's Day, and you see all the people out there that get the flowers on the side of the road. They're trying to sell flowers, and this is that day, that Queen of Heaven spirit, pumping up the woman. Which there's nothing wrong with our mothers, and there's nothing wrong with women as far as like hey, you gave birth and so forth like that. But again, this is one of these other, just another, every 2 weeks in this nation that there is some type of celebration or something. In 2 weeks' time, there's going to be Memorial Weekend. After that, it's going to be Father's Day. After that, it's going to be a whole month dedicated to a bunch of sodomites, faggots all across this earth. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Then you get the 250-year anniversary for the founding of this wicked, sissified kingdom, okay? And, the good thing about it is that we're getting close to the Mashiach return and, our redemption, us getting the hell out of here and finally seeing the harsh judgment that the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is going to bring on this place. Now, I'm going to go into Jeremiah 51 and starting with verse 9. Actually, let's go into Jeremiah 51, starting with verse 6. It says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's Yahweh Shema Shai vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense." And what's that recompense? Destruction, man. Destruction. You're already seeing it happening right now with these low-level peasant Edomites. These are the same ones, that hang Jake from the tree. They do all the dirty works, of the elites, because the elites poison their mind to make them think that they somehow are better than us, which right now they're coming to the conclusion. Hence why you hear all the lamentations on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, where they go, they don't care about us, man. What's going on? We can tell you what's going on. You were never a part of a system that's built on murder, rape, pillage, and so-called white supremacy. You are not supreme, All they did was simply bide their time by telling you worthless, useless eaters, you fucking crackers out there, that have the nerve to look at gods, who've been abandoned, who've been basically stripped, of our powers and put into these flesh, in servitude under you, because of our wickedness. You looked at us like you were superior, and henceforth, right now, you are now understanding that you are nothing. You never were anything, and you will never be anything except our slaves, in the heavenly kingdom to come. But that recompense is happening right now. Deuteronomy 30:7, Those curses are going to go on our enemy. Every doggone Edomite is your enemy, Jake. I don't care how friendly they are, how much they come and talk to you, Don't let their sweet talk or their crocodile tears persuade you to join hands in trying to save them, And we're going to read about the reason why, this is happening and why we're not here to save your ass. You had an opportunity for that, all right? But now, hindsight, looking at it and the way we are in this ministry and this truth, I am so happy that the Lord did not set us down here to save your ass, all right? It says, "Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's, Yahweh Shema Shai's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken off of wine, therefore the nations are mad." They're what? Democracy is first started out with. I don't know how, if any of you, were born in the 70s or early 70s, whatever the case like that, if you're Generation X, so to speak, okay, then you've seen this place when it was at its greatest, okay. Baby boomers might have seen it in the 50s, but, Generation X might have seen, you've seen it through the 70s as a child, 80s as a teenager, the 90s as a young adult, and then, of course, right up to this date. So you've seen how this place, where in the back of your mind at one point in time when you was out here in the world, you sometimes wish your skin was white, or you white. When I say white, I mean I'm talking about the lack of pigmentation, so-called Caucasian. You saw how carefree they were. I mean, everything was golden for them. They get a job easy. Everywhere they go, there's a red carpet out for them. And, you desire that. Keep in mind, when you talk about Lazarus, okay, and the rich man, what did Lazarus desire? He desired the crumbs, man. He wanted a part of that. Okay, and what happened? The dogs came and licked his wounds. The other tribes, okay, here in Great Babylon, America, okay, benefited because they don't have to run from the cops. They don't have to watch where they're going. Okay, they're ignored for the most part. At least that's how it was. But we're going to go into scriptures, and you other tribes are in for a horror show. Okay, you're going to be infiltrated too. Okay, but this is about, Jacob and Esau. Okay, the so-called Caucasians. Okay, or the so-called white people. Okay, versus the 12 tribe of Israel. And we are sheep. They are like wolves. Wolves can't beat sheep. We are the bride of the Mashiach. Okay, and the 1/3 elect. Okay, that's already been sealed or currently being sealed right now. Okay, the Mashiach is going to protect. He's going to protect those of us that are chosen to move forward. Okay, as this place collapsed. Continue on, it says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. Okay, so the nations, they drink all of the bullshit. White is great. The American passport was the #1. The American dollar is #1, which it still is, because again, whose the hands given into the wicked? Okay, the forefathers of this wicked queendom, who's on the face of that piece of paper? Okay, the greenback. Okay, which is backed by nothing. Okay, but nonetheless, you can't do anything without it. All right, that expenditure that's the fiscal way to go about business right now, okay? The petrodollar, so to speak, okay? And these nations, they've all fashioned their lifestyle over being like in America. So technically right now, I was supposed to be coming, back, okay, from Asia right now. I did not go on that trip, okay, which was supposed to be in Taiwan, and then it was going to be Japan. I skipped those trips, okay? And elected to stay here. But when you go to those places, and you go, if you go to Abu Dhabi, you go to any of these, Dubai, any of these places, what you see is a replica of here. Okay? A replica of here. Tall skyscrapers, the exact same thing. So all these nations, okay, they pride themselves in trying to duplicate, okay, being like the so-called white man. You get these Japanese smoking cigarette and walk around in a 3-piece suit and get the cowboy hat on. It's insane. Okay. And we've done the same thing too. Okay. So I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite and tell you that I did not follow the ways of the so-called white man, wore suit and ties, went for all the formal education, all that stuff. Okay. I'm not going to, and this is not about me talking about me. This is always about glorifying the Mashiach. But part of the, looking at the inner man is the fact that look what the hell you was out there, man. You drank it too. I drank it. Oh, I drank it just like I drank it. I drank this bullshit, man. I ate it up. Okay? I remember growing up in the 70s. I went to the school when I was in the islands. It was a private school, and my dad to this day, he still think the white man is God. His head is far of the white man's ass, man. Okay, so of course we walk two separate ways, and it is what it is. But he sent me to that school because he felt the education was going to be better because the so-called white kids was there and all that stuff like that. And, you know, they did not want so-called black students there. And this is you know, colonial British, you know, Commonwealth of the Bahamas, you know, they didn't like it. They created those little private schools for themselves. But just like everybody else who think that white is great and it's the way to go about it, so did our people. Okay, and they impart that into our minds. Henceforth, a lot of our people are still worshiping cracker ass Jesus. Okay, they're right now, you know, going through this Queen of Heaven bullshit called Mother's Day. All right, it says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take bound for pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country, for a judgment reaching unto the heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Now, let's talk about that for a second. We would have healed. People say that we are separatists. You're damn right. The scripture tell you, okay, how can two walk together if they don't agree? We don't agree, okay, with two men being together or two women being together. We don't agree on that. All right? That's the strongest thing there, because a whole month is dedicated to that. All right? And all the other evil and vials of this man we disagree with. Okay? So there was a time when we were in the world that you wanted to join hands with Esau and get a piece of the pie. Keep in mind what I spoke about with Lazarus. Lazarus wanted a piece of the pie. Okay? He wanted a piece of the pie. He wanted to get the crumbs even. Get the crumbs. Okay? And we were like that. Oh, I got a job. You know, I can get a car. I can do this and do that. And even if you look at it right now, the people who even got the piece of the pie or the crumbs, okay, off the pie, look what's happening right now. They have escalated things on this earth. And it's the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, by the way, that's doing this. Okay, always give glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because whether it's good or bad, the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, who the word ignorantly called God and Jesus, is executing all of these things. It's now with this doggone white man. Keep in mind, okay, that this man, okay, he is the base of man. And so he is ruling this earth, okay, the way he was set up to do it. Okay? And he's the base of man. So what do you expect from the base of man? Okay? You can't expect anything other than everything falling apart. He's a caveman. That's all he is, a glorified caveman in suit and tie. Okay? The Lord gave him the most talented people on this earth to build his kingdom. Who is the most talented people? Okay? You look at the camera you look at your video screen or your YouTube page or your little cell phone, however you watch these lessons, okay, you're looking at the most talented people, okay, so-called blacks, so-called Native Americans, so-called Latinos, and so-called Hispanics. The Lord gave Esau the most talented people to build his kingdom, okay? And what did he do with it? He pissed it all away. This is what this man does. Because he values absolutely not a damn thing. So we're not here to heal. And it says we would have healed Babylon, but forsake her. Okay. These Edomites, these so-called white people, okay, they're looking and going, y'all are so racist. This is black supremacy. No, this is Hebrew Israelite supremacy. Okay, we are the chosen people of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. Y'all are not chosen. Y'all are not the chosen people. Okay? You are the most degraded, okay, or people that were created to be so low. And in the kingdom, these other nations are going to, they're going to, on top of the fact that we're going to give you a brutal hardcore slavery, these other tribes, they're going to be looking at you like they can't believe this walking, dingy, stinking, nasty, hairy crap. And see, the Lord is going to take away the beauty from you. He's going to take all your intelligence away from you. Just like how he took our memory from us so that we didn't know who the hell we were until the books were open and the seals were broken. And then you had the elders before the elders that came out, you know, and started what right now is a pathway for all of us to follow. Okay? Because the Lord works through men. He works through men. Okay? So if those men didn't do the work, you think I'd be sitting in front of this camera reading from the scriptures? That was not my plan, okay, setting out in life. Okay? But the Mashiach, he calls certain people. And we are happy about it. We can't wait to do the next lesson. You get in a bad mood when you can't come up with a doggone lesson like that. Or you're like, well, I don't want to do just something to just do something. You want something that's, you put your heart into it. You put your heart into it. Whether you like to make AI clips or you taking clips from movies and gluing it together to bring out something that's going to, draw attention. Whatever, however you're going to glorify the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, you're going to use the talent that he gave you, okay, that you use out there in the world to put out here. Whether you get the views or not, it makes no difference because the reward comes from the Mashiach. You want to get that pat on the shoulder and say, good job, servant. You don't want to be that guy that sits there. You knew you could have done the work. You knew you could have put something out there. You knew you had the skills to do it, and you did nothing. Just be a fucking cheerleader. Okay, sit back on your knees. Because you know why? You don't really believe. Because if you did, you'd get your monkey ass out there and do something. All right? You'll do anything. You should be pissed the hell off now that you're awake and you found out you had to serve a caveman. So these people get the nerve, and including doggone Jakes, get the nerve to talk about, well, y'all are not pro-black, but y'all are just anti-white. Well, I'm not anti-white. Show me a doggone white person. My house walls are white. The interior is pretty much white. I've never seen anyone that color before. This is black, sitting on a dark brown skin or a light brown skin. Depends on how much sun I get. My true complexion is actually light brown. Okay? But y'all get mad because we are letting you know that the base of man, his kingdom is falling. When we out there in the world applying for the jobs, applying for all of the things there, or trying to be a part of the society, you didn't want us. Y'all came with clever things like, you're not a cultural fit, blah, 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 blah. Or and if you do get a doggone job or whatever the case like that, oh, we have to fulfill, then people look at you and they accuse you of affirmative action. Tell me, brothers, y'all didn't have that happen to you. Oh, you sisters out there. Here it is. You went out there. You went through all their colleges, all that shit. You gone through all the certifications, all that crap. You discipline your damn self. Dedicating yourself to get into this, to get infused into their culture, into their society. And then when you do get into something, which, Salakia, which they would pay you significantly less than the Sasquatch that they put into place, then all of a sudden, okay, is that doggone instance? All of a sudden, it's affirmative action. You just can get on your own. We build your doggone kingdom, jackass. We build your kingdom. So the Lord was being very facetious when he said we would have healed Babylon, but now forsake her. We have forsaken you. The 1/3 will forsake you. Okay? What? We don't need you. Let me say it again. We don't need you, Esau. And if you people out there haven't seen it yet, you've been abandoned. You've been abandoned by your own doggone government. Your own king has abandoned you. Y'all have failed. Y'all failed. And what are you Edomites all surprised that you're out of work for? You would never qualify for your job that you got. You people are so stupid. Here it is. They've taken out all the work, the help, okay, the so-called Latinos and Hispanics out of the field to pick the vegetables and the fruits. And what they're doing in certain places, they're overstocking it to make you think that, oh, there's no end to the supply. There is an end. There is an end. Because if you didn't know what really was going on and the vials of this doggone devil and how he plots, when you walk in the supermarket and you see everything all stocked up, like you would think like, man, what the hell? What people talking about with shortages? Okay? But there's a plot. There's a plot. You people won't go out there and you won't help your own self. You dumb crackers when you won't go and do it. You won't go out in the field and go freaking go and do the work. But we're supposed to believe that the Egyptians were white, the Hebrew Israelites out there doing all that work for centuries, they were white. In your movies. Right? So why don't y'all go do the work right now? Okay, and we understand how that's gonna pan out. Okay, so we're not gonna heal you because there's nothing to heal because we want our kingdom to come in. And how is our kingdom gonna come in? Through the destruction of great Babylon, America. Okay? Now, for you Jakes them that you are bound and determined, okay, to side with this man. You want to help him out? That's fine. Okay, but let's take a look at let's take a look at why you may want to reconsider that. Okay, because this man has get you a lot of you Jason and snare. Okay, he get you in doggone snare. Let's go into let's take a look at it. Okay, let's go take a look at it here and see if I can bring the scripture out. And it says, this is Proverbs 29. Verse 24 reads, whoso is partner with a thief hated his own soul, he heareth cursing and pervaded it not. Okay, those cursing basically is just those false accusations. See, as watchmen, we also defenders of the gospel, and we also defenders of when Esau accused our people of all these things or accuse us of things. No, that's not right. We're not the thief. We didn't go and invade country. Show us where we invaded country. Show us where we have done mass killings. Show us that. Or mass rapings. Show us that. Show us where we have bombed and killed women and children, non-combatants. Show us that. You accuse us of the biggest drug dealers. Show us the pharmaceutical companies that we own. Show us making all the drugs that's going on out there, that's being distributed out there. Show us it. You can't. Okay? Because you're lying. It says, the fear of man bringing a snare, but whoso put his trust in the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, shall be safe. So we put our trust in the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. We ain't putting our trust in your ass anymore. Those days are done. That's why you will never be, that's why you can't be healed. You hide the morons and the idiots that were unqualified, that had big titles and stuff like that. And I'm gonna pause here for a second, talk to you brothers out there. If you're this far into the video, if you watch, and a lot of brothers share things. The scriptures was right when they talk about the fact that a lot of brothers experience the same thing in life. Okay, you go to work, you work your ass off, always on time. You're a top performer. Edomite shows up to work when they want to, takes days, weeks off. Oh, my dog is pregnant. My dog is this. My great-great-great-grandmother having a episode or whatever the case is like that. Oh, that's okay, Bobby. That's okay, Susie. But let you friggin' not gonna find your body breaks down and you're sick or whatever the case like that. And you go, can I have a day off? All of a sudden it's like, we need to change this administration. No. Policies, new policies up now. No more of this and that. Come on, man. It's happened to all of us. And I am very happy that you brought us to share those stories like that because I experienced it so many times. And that's okay. That's okay. All right? I experienced it a lot. They promote worthless Edomites They'll give them a raise. You go to them and approach them for the raise. Oh, our budget isn't cleared, and I don't get that. And it was crap and it was bullshit. Okay? It was crap and it was bullshit. But this is where we're at. Okay? This is where we're at. Right? It says, many seek the ruler's favor, but every man's judgment coming from the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai. An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked. We're upright in the way because of that. Henceforth, they're looking at us as enemy number one. And that's fine, because the bottom line is that you are our enemy. Okay? In fact, the scriptures tell you, never trust thine enemy. Okay? Because you're the same way. Okay? You just don't like the fact that you can't get to us. You don't like the fact that there's men that are standing up there. We understand the consequences of doing this. Okay? The Mashiach made it very clear. Okay? If they persecuted him, okay? Let's go into that. Let's go into that. Where the Mashiach, okay? Our coming king. Okay? Told us. So this is John. This is John. Let's go to John. Okay. And for those of you who've heard it before like that, that's your business. Okay. The Bible is repetitive. Okay. The true servants, the true followers of the Mashiach never gets bored. So if you're bored, you probably might not be a follower. What you're looking for is entertainment. I don't fucking entertain. All right. It's just straight to the point. The mission is go and do the edification and do the job that we've been told and set up to do by the Mashiach. Okay? So if you're bored, that's your business. This is John 15 and verse 19. It says, if you are of the world would love his own. But because you're not of the world, but I've chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hated you. So I didn't choose to give my life to a Mashiach. I didn't choose to give my life to Jesus, as you all like to call it, these Christians like to go and say. Okay? We were chosen. I didn't even know I was a Hebrew Israelite until 2018. That's when I first found out. Okay? And I was like, oh, okay. But I didn't understand more about it until I found, the true prophets. Okay? And they're from Great Millstone. Okay? And I'm gonna say it. Give credit where credit is due. Okay? They bring out the truth. It's just the way it is. There's nothing to argue about it. All right? Everybody else out there, all the other, I'm the type of person, I don't waste my fucking time. Okay? I really don't waste my time following bullshit or listening to shit. So I don't watch IUIC. I don't, they would, when I found out through them and, One Body and Sakari and Wi-Fi and all of them I was watching when I first came in, a whole bunch of others that I don't know about right now because I those channels are gone and I don't subscribe to them. But I quickly got bored of them because I could see there was just a bunch of niggas just clowning, man. All the bell ringing, all the horse shit and clown show like that. Like, nah, nigga. I'm not going to waste my fucking time. I'd rather go watch Scooby-Doo cartoon or whatever the case is like that, or go watch, Knight Rider, old 80s movies, or go do something else with my time. Until I found out, man that was calling on a true name. I go, what the hell is that? And man that was serious about this work. That's when I discovered, yeah, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, but there was a purpose I was created for. It wasn't just this, you're a Hebrew Israelite, right? And that's why I go, damn, they got it. That's it right there. This isn't just some entertainment. Oh, you're a Hebrew Israelite. Yeah, okay. Now what? And you can cuss out the white people. It's bigger than that. So these men did it the way it's meant to be done. And that's how we are about it. Okay? And we all come with different spirits and different level of experience we had out there in the world. Whether it was good or bad. Whatever you accomplish in life out there. Whatever the shit you went through, whatever the case is like that. So yeah, some of us have a more harder demeanor, okay, where you're a little bit less tolerant of BS, because it's all about focusing, okay, focusing. Okay, it says, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they persecuted me, they also persecute you. If they kept my saying, they will keep yours. So y'all didn't keep the saying of the Mashiach. We understand that as servants of the Mashiach, okay, because he has yet to get his glory, and he's going to get his glory huge. The Father, Yahweh, is going to give him, he's going to get that glory, all right? And then he's going to give us our glory. So in the meantime, as servants, what can you expect? I expect to have my hair chopped off. I anticipate having my hair chopped off. I anticipate getting fired, getting riddled up with bullets on a firing range. I anticipate hard times. That's what goes through my head every day. Okay? Because if they did it to him, they beat our king. They beat our Lord so bad. It's unimaginable. And he's going to show us that. Okay? So what the hell do you think they can do to us? Okay? Y'all don't keep it saying. It says, but all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me, which is the Father. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not sinned. But now they have no cloak for their sin, because brothers out there in the highway, the apostles, some of they're still doing the work. Okay? Brothers are not discouraged. Even, I've seen videos of brothers, and I go, what the hell? This video has been up for 2 days, 0 views. What the hell is that shit? Of course, I click like, and if you get that 1 view, most likely that was me, if I'm subscribed to you. And that's the thing about our people; they can't appreciate nothing. So caught up in indulging in the bullshit. Now they're crying, and then they're crying. Oh, I can't pay my bills. I can't do this. I can't do this. That's your business. Learn to get you some hard fucking times, okay? It'll do you some damn good. There's some of us who grew up at the floor was the dirt. There was no welfare system in the islands. The floor was a damn dirt. Straw attached for roof. You sit around with one bowl, 6 or 7 of you. Hey, who can eat the fastest? Got the most. And sometimes that was just what they call lard and rice. Shut the fuck up. You don't have a fucking clue what coming up hard is all about. But that's the thing that we have to go through. Okay, you have the fear of this doggone man. It brings a snare. Now they talking about this virus, what is it, hantavirus? Out there, another kind of lockdown, which we already know that the lockdown is not going to work this time. It's not going to work. You're not going to get people to put the mask on. Again, if you put a mask on, or you cover your face, that is basically to prevent flies from flying into your mouth, or you don't want to smell some shit or whatever the case is like that. But other than that, now that it's impacting, because keep in mind that when they first started out with the in 2020, these Edomites, they quickly obeyed everything like that, because keep in mind, they had the jobs, they had the businesses, they had everything going for them, so they didn't want to lose that. And some did, okay, because the closed down and the lockdown, they imposed fines on these businesses that try to stay open, especially service-oriented business. They didn't have the luxury to close down, like gyms and all these other things, where basically the services, you have to keep that doors open. And if people can use your service, they're going to cancel. They're going to call their credit card company or their bank and say, look, I'm not getting the service that I'm paying for or what they're charging me for, and there's a hole on it. Okay, so that caused some businesses. Leading up to that, leading up to right now, they ease back up, open it back up. Now they're looking, they come up with a way and say, okay, that's not going to work. That's not working fast enough. Let's go do a pretend war. Okay, drive up the price of oil and food and every doggone thing, and it's just one plot after the other. When the scripture says there's going to be heavy tribulation, you people better believe that. Okay, let's take a look at that actually. Because you people think that this is a joke. Okay, that actually let's look at 2 Thessalonians 1 and 6. It says, seeing it is a righteous thing with power to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. Okay, who trouble us? Okay, you have Esau that's troubling us, but you also have our people that's troubling us too. Our 2/3. Keep in mind, these are the same ones that when they had the opportunity to free the Hamashiach from being put to death, or that killer, who do they choose to release? The killer. Our people are drawn, okay, to drama. Our people like drama. They like jokes. They like to be entertained. And they got entertained. They go, let his blood be on our heads and our children's heads and all that stuff. So when you see these wicked ass women, wicked ass children, you see these jakes them getting their ass handed to them, they were the ones that was cheering to see that public lynching. And it's no different today. They want to see us get lynched. They hate you, boy. They hate us. They absolutely hate us. They can't stand looking at an austere brother, okay, doing this work, who does it diligently and don't give a rat's ass whether you're offended by it or not. You can't persuade the brother to walk and look at things. Well, why don't you look at it from our perspective? Can we all get along? Two wrongs don't make it right. We're not about making things right. We're not about making things right. This ain't about, oh, that was a couple hundred years ago that you hung us, you had us in the field. Oh, that was 80 years ago that you hung, you know, that you publicly hang, you know, a so-called black man from a tree or burn him at a stake. We can move past that. You generation, you didn't do that. You're all guilty. You are your father's children. You are your fathers. You're all guilty. We don't care. That ain't our job. Our job is to preach against this doggone place. In fact, let's go into Ezekiel here, okay? Because y'all think that we're here to like mince our words, and no, we're preaching the word that the Lord Yahweh Shemashai put into our mouth. Because there's a particular job we have to do, and there's a particular way that the Lord Yahweh Shemashai wants it done. It says, moreover, this is Ezekiel 35. Sorry, verse 1, it says, moreover, the word of the Lord, Yahweh Shemashai, came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus said the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch with mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. Now go look at the word desolate, and we'll see what that means. I put it up many times in lesson, okay, but that's for you to go look at right now, okay? So it's going to be a state of mind, and it's also going to be a mental and also a physical state. People are going to be in a state of dissolution, upset, lamenting, complaining. The whole land is going to be destroyed at some point because you people, as you can't hold your head any longer, you're going to lash out physically. A lockdown would probably, or an attempted lockdown would probably, okay, bring out, okay, that seditions amongst men where they go up against the government, and we could talk about that too. It's one of the more, this is why probably they blocked the Apocrypha on that King James Bible online, because it goes heavy into these latter times. Okay, crazy madman, sparing none, kicking your door down, grabbing you. Okay, all those things. Okay, the famine, the sword. Okay, earthquakes and disasters in diverse places. All those things. They're found in the Apocrypha. They're also found in the Old Testament too, and in the New Testament. So Esau, you can try as you want prematurely to try to stop this. You're not going to. It says, I will lay thy city waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai. Why? because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel, 12 tribes of Israel, so-called blacks, Native Americans, Latinos, and Hispanics. Okay? By the sword, force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time of their iniquity at an end. After slavery, boy, the hangings and the persecution really started. And it's not always a physical thing. Get this, Jake. It's not always a physical thing. Here it is. You're trying to stand ground or stand up, okay, for a man or these people that wouldn't even spit on you if you were on fire. Denied you benefits when they had the ability to help you. Many of the people losing their jobs, and you can see with Spirit Airlines and a whole list go on and on with companies, there's tons of them losing work. And who it is? It's these Edomites. Because a lot of them are getting fired top down, meaning what? Okay, like for example, Dell, they laying off 10% of their force, and they specifically targeted managers. Why? Deep down, they know they're worthless. They are absolutely worthless. Okay? And I want to do and talk about AI at some point in time in another separate lesson as to what when you work with AI, you can see where it's significantly better than dealing with the human elements in a lot of the services that you need to have. People are extremely limited, and you're also dealing with personalities and stuff. But here you have artificial intelligence that can gather the accumulation of millions of data of people, or billions or trillions of knowledge, and give you an explanation like a human being in a matter of 1 or 2 seconds, just like that. Because they, it looks you, but it's another lesson to go into, a lesson to go into what working with it. Okay, but it says, because I was out of perpetual hatred and shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in time that iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, so they can't run from it. Said thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Listen how it works, man. So you Edomites are about to get that blood come after you too, because the curse is pursuing the Deuteronomy 30 and 7. That's already started on y'all. Y'all are the one lamenting, but you can't get jobs. Y'all are the one getting laid off, mid-level, upper-level managements, okay? The scripture talks about what? There'll be no work for head or tail, okay? As a matter of fact, let's go into that because, again, I want to talk a little bit on that for you, doggone. You peckle with crackers out there, you men, that really believe that things are going to be business as usual, okay, that you're going to be going around, messing around with Jake, okay, because you feel, okay, that you can take your frustration out and it's going to be business as usual to go with it, okay? But continuing on here, you people, and if you Jakes want to join them, if you think that somebody somehow, if you collude with them, that you're going to escape the wrath from the so-called white man. We're not afraid of the wrath from the white man. We know he's coming down with great wrath on the earth. That's the Lord. He's a hireling. The Lord has given him that wrath to go do about it. He gave him the nuclear weapons to go destroy himself. In fact, he gave him a chance. Let's put it that way. He's given him a chance for the Mashiach to come and destroy all of the Earth's military force in a matter of seconds. Okay? In a matter of seconds. Remember that movie, I think it was John Travolta and I can't remember the name of the so-called black Forrest Whitaker. They starred in this it was a book, and it was this alien force that came and invaded Earth. I think it was called Earth something. I can't remember. But he spoke to the remnants of the people who were basically their slaves, and told them that if they try to rebel, it's not going to work, because even with all the even with the earth forces at its height in technological advancement and military force, he said that the earth forces was only able to put up 9 minutes of fight before they were defeated. So that goes to show you here, like when the Mashiach returned, the whole earth force is the matter of seconds, and the scripture goes into that. When he opened his mouth, what happens? Everything turned to dust. Seconds. So he allow you to mesmerize in your power, and then give you and allow you to trample up on his people, so that you can feel powerful. And then I'll allow you to trample up on the rest of the tribes on this earth, so that you can feel your power. All right? But let's go into Isaiah. Let's talk about this for a second, because you're starting to see these Edomite men, these so-called white men, they're feeling themselves. You know, they're coming out using the N-word. You know, they want to get physical. And let's be realistic here, man. Okay. You crackers are no competition when it comes to physical anything with Jake. And that's just a simple part about it. Especially with Judah and Benjamin. Okay? You're not. Now, what's taking place right now? What's happening right now? And a lot of the brothers have been bringing out about, what is it, polycrisis. Multiple crises going on at the same time. Right? What you have going on right now, too, is that economic decline of Great Babylon America, which is hitting the people that have benefited the most from it, that have benefited the most from welfare, that have benefited the most from everything, which is you so-called white people. Okay, this is Isaiah 19, and start verse 15, it reads, start verse 14 reads, the Lord Yahweh shall mingle a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggered in his vomit. You ever seen a drunk person, Jake? You have. You might have that drunk uncle. You might even have a drunk aunt. Maybe your daddy was drunk. But if you ever seen somebody when they're staggering, when they're drunk and they're incoherent, you know, that's why for those DWI and DUI stops, what do? They give you the sobriety, tie tongue here. What is this? The sobriety test, which is where they have you touch your nose, walk with one feet in the front of the other, blah, 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 blah. And you're supposed to be able to do these things. They'll probably even shine a light in your face to see if there's any type of dilation or whatever the case is that. And supposed to be, you know, they're able to tell. Or in some cases, you can get a breathalyzer. But if you fail that walk test, usually that stage you already know you shouldn't be behind the wheel of a vehicle. Okay? Because you're staggering. All right? This is what is going on here. Everything is being done. And people are scratching their head and go, wait a minute, that wasn't how it was done. Everything was in order at one point. Was it? Was it in order because you benefited? Because you Edomites had the jobs? You had the ability to hire us if you wanted to? You had the opportunity to throw a resume in the garbage, make fun of us in interviews, pretend wasting our time, shitting on us, looking at us, struggling to make ends meet, you know, having our head down. Okay? None of us have been able to be has had the opportunity to be face to face with any of the elites. The only Edomites that want to come around you are crackheads, worthless piece of garbage, and that includes the women too. And I'll do a lesson on that, okay? Because I see a lot of Jakes, man, putting out videos. All the white girls want us and all that stuff. Look at the quality of the fucking doggone white girls that want you. They're fat. They're divorced 2 or 3 times. They're uneducated. They bring not a damn thing to the table. They get shit for credit. They have no money in the bank. They'll suck anybody's penis. They'll open their leg to anyone. They'll screw your entire house. They're garbage. And the worst part about it is they're like a nigger bitch, except they have all of the power and all of the driving forces behind them of being an Edomite. You're not getting anything, man. Okay? Take it from brothers, take it from brothers, okay, who got involved in that shit, who was married to one of them, who just exclusively dated around with them, and you could see they're completely worthless. Okay? And the ones that are coming for you for the brother for Jakes, you're not gonna get the educated to do one come from a nice family, properly educated, and can bring some value to your life. No, these are drama, ghetto shit crap, useless, freaking fat, obese crap. So don't feel proud about that. Okay? Neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. In that day Egypt should be like unto women. You seen the man and the women all crying. And they should be afraid and fear because of shaking of the hands of the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shemashai, which he shake it over. So the Lord is bringing that. You didn't give his people work. How many of our people in debt or got in debt with the going to school and stuff like that? And you still get Jakes right now. So maybe if I go to this college, maybe I go to that college. Man, there's a reason why you can now go to Harvard online, whereas before you can get near acceptance there. They'll accept you if you want to pay your damn money and get yourself in debt. Harvard and any of these so-called Ivy League schools would accept you. Why? Because the friggin' degree is worthless. There's a reason why now you can go to Harvard. Seriously. Anyone could go to Harvard right now or go to Princeton or those places. They don't give a crap who comes to their school right now, especially online. Because they already created a program and just throw it on there, and they get an adjunct faculty that's going to look graded or whatever the case like that. They have an AI that can tell if you plagiarize or whatever the case like that. And they can make a ton of money. Most of the people with degrees right now are getting it online. So the process for online versus doggone applying with the SAT and all that stuff is different. You can go to Harvard without SAT scores and none of those things. Seriously, all you have to do is just get a passing grade, so to speak. And then you have a Harvard degree. But it does nothing except now you're in debt. All right? So these people are now, you hear a lot of talk about that. No work. You seeing that fear. Well, wait a minute, man. I thought you white man. I thought you all had it all. I've never seen the fear in white man like the way you're seeing it right now, man. Because they've always walked around confident, cocky. They look at you, See, how do I want to put it? Maybe that's a good idea. Let me see. Let me write it down while I'm at it. Whitey. So basically, and I can see if I can expand on this. Okay. Y'all were asleep like how we are, like how we were. We didn't know we were Hebrew Israelites. Y'all didn't know that y'all were the base of man. Now you're waking up to who you are, which is a base of man. Nobody's. And we have woken up to who we are. Okay? The chosen people of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. And especially the men that are doing this work, are servants of the Mashiach. Well, shit. Okay? So we're just telling y'all your future because at some point y'all were the people that we interacted with. So that we've had close encounters with you, doggone low-level Edomites, okay, who thought you was something. And I'm going to speak for myself, I used to think you was something too, like, wow. Because your poverty was like wealthy to us. We didn't understand that you were in debt and so fragile. But now we're seeing it, it's like, wow, damn. Okay, they seem so rich. How the hell that could happen? That shows you just how much of a peasant state that we as Hebrew Israelites are in. Again, remember I told you, okay, but the scripture says what? Lazarus desired the crumbs. The crumbs. Not a piece of the pie, the crumbs. He wasn't even looking at a piece of the pie because that was beyond our reach. Just the crumbs. And that's exactly what these Edomites, these low-level Edomites, that's all they had was really the crumbs. And that crumbs that they had seemed so great to us. We tried to obtain the crumbs from these Edomites. That's what we was working for, trying to obtain the crumbs. Shit, we're trying to obtain the crumbs from the Edomites who only were given the crumbs, okay, from the real wealthy Edomites. I mean, sometimes when you think about how low the Lord, we pissed the Lord off to the point He brought us so low. What did we did everything wrong, man. He brought us low, that low. That low. When you think about how ignorant you were and stupid, wow. We were looking up to people that right now are so fragile, they can't even take the fact, they live paycheck to paycheck. They can't even take any bit of problem. This is how weak these doggone people are. And we were looking up at these people, man. Now you're looking at the people that you idolize, Jake. And yes, 2/3 of our people can't see this. You're looking up to these people trying to save people. They're so freaking weak. So what they say, the team is only as strong as the weakest link. These crackers are a weak link. Why would you want to align yourself with them when there's something better for us? The kingdom of heaven is better for us. It says in that day, Egypt should be like unto women. It should be afraid because of fear. And fear because of shaking the hand of the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shemashah, which he shake it over it. And the land of Judah should be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof should be afraid of himself because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shemashah, which he had determined against it. So now, once Jake is losing the jobs and all that stuff, which already started off with Eve, the women, because the women they were put over us, men. Okay, and if you can keep the self-esteem of the Hebrew Israelite man down, you can control that nation. All you have to do is just elevate the wicked woman. Okay, just how that's why the serpent approached Eve first, the woman, because he couldn't get to Adam. Okay, and that's the reason why you see the woman, and this is all the Lord's doing. He elevated the so-called black woman, Latino woman, above us. And they're still in these positions right now, even though everything is collapsing and things are falling. But it gives you an understanding of the true scale of how great and grand America really is. Great Babylon is. The true scale of the might of Great Babylon. Okay? And only the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, can bring this place down. It was designed that way. The true scale of it. So these people now, they're losing it. Jake's them who integrated themselves into the not understanding that there's something better. When you start to think that your life is ending, no more help from the so-called white man. On top of that, they're calling you niggas and spics and whatever else. And then they will lay hands on you. Judah's going to go ape shit. You know what they're saying right now? These blacks are going to chimp out or whatever the case is that. And then you got the Edomite man, they go, well, when we chimp out, we take over and destroy the world. No, you don't. You don't want low-level Edomites. You do have the sword and all that stuff. But the real power is in the hands of the elites. You're not going to be able to, you Edomites out here, when you chimp out, you're not going to be able to go to Fort Bragg and get the military grade weapons to do a damn thing. You're not. Because those Edomites will put you in the spirit world. And that's why the scripture talks about what? Egyptians against Egyptians. Well, you think the generals and you think the sergeants and the officers and all those on those bases across the United States, okay, who are under a very structured organization called the United States military, or you think you're just gonna walk off the street because you don't have a job and you hate niggas and spics and tontos and you want to go grab military grade weapons to go after them? Nah, that's not gonna happen. And Esau cunningly, because he wanted to have Jake's them killing each other, and Jake's them, okay, well, they're adept at killing each other, so guess what? They can be plotting, they can be turning on your ass too. Or you think Jake's them going to be disciplined No, the elect men are disciplined. The elect women are in order. Or at least we try our best. Because there's rules to this. There are rules. And shit goes through our head like anybody else. But then we have to remember the scriptures. We have to remember the scriptures, okay? So we're not going to chimp out. We're going to laugh. The 2/3, they're going to chimp the fuck out. And let's put it this way. You Edomites are outnumbered. Because it's not only going to be doggone Judah friggin' doggone laying that terror on your ass. These chinks hate you. These Hamites hate you because y'all going to be looking at anyone that's so-called black. So a lot of you Hamites out there who are, you didn't get the taste of the curse as far as, here in America, but then you try to look like us and dress like us. Well, when they say black, now you're going to be looped up into that too. And you doggone Ishmaelites and Elamites that look kind of like us too with your skin color. Oh yeah, you're going to be looped into that too. Your targets. That means what? You're going to be fighting back too. And you crackers are outnumbered. You're not conditioned other than your war shit. And the Lord is going to have your doggone military occupied overseas. So they're not going to really be here so much. So it's going to be complete chaos. Complete and utter chaos. But you Edomite man out there sit down there hardy thinking that you're just going to go hang so-called black man and Latino man, but particularly you have your eyes on the so-called black man from the trees, like you did back 40, 50, 60 years ago, and it's just walk into the sunset like that. According to the scripture, no, you're going to be terrorized. You're not going to win. You know when that winning starts? Okay? When everybody's crying out for a solution, and the white man say, yeah, we'll bring a solution. And that's when they can use their military force, which includes these cyborgs and these robots that they built, to go hunt us down. And that's going to be the Jacob's trouble to the level to where you have the archangel have to actually come and defend us. Because they're coming after the elect. They're coming after everybody. Because we're going to be public enemy number one, because 2/3 chimping out, so to speak, doing the work like that. Doesn't matter if you're walking in order or not. All of us are going to be a target. Okay? And that's what Second Ezra was talking about. The madman sparing none. They're coming after. They're going to come. All these internment camps are built for us. They're going to execute in public. Why? Because at that stage, after Jake already chimped the hell out, everybody's going to be convinced that we are just animals. It's time to get rid of us. But soon in Genesis 27:41, what Esau say? That day is going to come that he's going to go and slay his brother. Y'all best believe it. So y'all talking about we are not pro-black, but we anti-white. You're trying to save your freaking doggone your slave master. Go ahead. See how that's going to work out for you. Lord willing, the elect was edified, that close, was given all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Shalom.